Hello and a very warm welcome to the Ref Show. Well, you've got to start somewhere. 2 bad blunders in the Premier League, but you have to acknowledge it's been a better weekend at the top for our referees. Nevertheless, one incident could go down in the annals of history as one of the worst decisions ever. The first of these, we're going to talk about Phil Dowd. Burnley 2, Crystal Palace 3. Really, there wasn't a lot to criticise in that, and Phil Dowd's a very experienced referee, but there's just one thing, the Burnley second goal. Yeah,
it was interesting, wasn't it? I mean, I thought that, obviously both players went off the field of play accidentally, and I felt the Burnley player had impeded the Crystal Palace defender off the field of play.
2 or 3 yards behind the touchline.
Clearly, it's if it had been on the field of play, it's clearly a foul. So any young referee out there watching our show, yes, you still can stop the play for the infringement, but you restart play with a drop ball. But it was clearly an infringement against Crystal Palace that happened off the ball.
What do you think, Brian?
Off the field.
I can't agree with you there. I think that, I think the game's going soft, to be honest, because you've got 2 guys there. He's looked for the foul and he's just tried to get back on the pitch to try and win the ball. That's me.
Yeah. Yes, as a player.
That's me as a player. I think that it's too easy now for players to go down and then they get a foul just because they've gone down.
And there's nothing more annoying than the ball being shepherded out by a player, is there?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he went down. I thought he was not clearly sort of holding.
There's 2 guys. They're both 80 kilos, whatever.
It's good to have a bit of disagreement because the game is about opinions.
Of course it is. There was a lot of discussion on that fact. But the point we try to get across to any young referee is that if you do see that and you do deem it as impeding an opponent, you can stop the play and then restart with a drop ball.
Point well made. The big talking point, I don't think anybody's in real disagreement over this, was Spurs 2, Sunderland 1. It's just fortunate this incident actually had no bearing on the result. It was towards the end. It should have been 3-1 to Spurs. Vertonghen, for anybody who doesn't know, hasn't seen it, I'm sure there's nobody who hasn't seen it, was ruled offside in his own half.
Well, I first heard about this. I was flying back from Spain, and as soon as I stepped off the plane and switched my phone on, my Twitter went absolutely ballistic, and it actually sent me the film, the clip of the incident, and I just sat there and watched it, and it was just unbelievable. I just could not believe.
How on earth did that happen?
Well, I look at it and I think, officiating at that level, that should just not happen. That error should not happen. Okay, people are looking at the assistant, Mr. Nunn, which I believe is going to go on UEFA core course, sent away by the FA.
As a response to that?
Yeah, but
But the referee was very close proximity.
If you look at the play, Chris Foy was there. Okay, Chris Foy's there. The play's gone on. The ball's gone in the back of the net. The assistant's raised his flag. Now, as a referee, Chris Foy should have gone over to the assistant referee. He should have asked the assistant referee, "Look, tell me what you've seen, please." And the assistant referee would explain to him what he'd seen, and then Chris Foy would just have come back and said, "Listen, I'm there." He said the ball's clearly played in their own half. There's no offside whatsoever, so it can't possibly offside. And Chris Foy should have overruled the assistant referee. And for me, Chris Foy's got to take the majority of the blame for that because he was in such a good position. He has to see that the pass was in Tottenham's own half.
What's your view of that, Mark?
I agree completely. Poor decision. It's a great break by Tottenham. And it's
interesting to see the appointments this coming weekend after an error of that magnitude. I think possibly you would expect maybe not to see him in the Premier League.
Well, it's FA Cup this weekend, so it's the week after.
So in a way that we'll have forgotten by the time the next, or some people will have forgotten by the time the next Premier League.
Well, I think the only saving grace in that was that Tottenham were already 2-1 up. I think it'd been 1-1. And also we talk about. Brian touched on it early on about Defoe. He missed a penalty in that game as well for Sunderland. Yeah. At a crucial time.
Yeah. I think the other saving grace is the fact that if it was a forward who was going through, he'd have made more of it. Vertonghen's a defender, so it's a bit of fun. But certainly, if you're a forward in that situation.
Brian, thanks ever so much. So have you. Good to see you. Hope we can welcome you again onto the Ref Show. Mark, as ever, many thanks to you. If you've got any queries or questions, then please let us know on youaretheref.com. There's always talking points here, and we'll be back with more next week. Bye. See you then.